I entered the studio to start this live stream like 2 minutes ago, and I ended up talking to myself for absolutely no reason. But it's okay. I see I have a. I'm sorry, I dropped my pen. I see I have a couple people in here now. I'm using a different microphone today. Can you guys let me know if you can hear me all right? If not, I can change the microphone. But give me a thumbs up. Can you hear what I'm saying? If not, I'll just go back to the regular webcam microphone that we have. But I would love to know if this mic is working. So please, if anyone in the comment section, can you hear me? Let me know. I'll write it in here. Is the volume all right? Is it kind of quiet? Is it loud, or is it all right? But yeah, I'm actually really excited for this live stream today as well. I've been doing, a ton of stuff with ChatGPT, obviously. I think it's kind of helped me get over some of the hardest parts of building my website. Probably it's just because it's so productive and it's so incredibly useful that now I'm like, wow, this makes my life so much easier. So I think one thing that I've really helped or I've really found kind of success in, I'll be happy to share with you guys today. Kind of just make sure you basically have a really, really well-rounded article that covers all the basic topics someone might search for. Not only that, but also the ones that could be like related topics. So we're going to answer all of those questions, show you guys how to do it. We can literally, generate some content really quick. Of course, we'd want to edit this so we do have an original perspective on it. We want to add some character and some insight to what we're actually writing about. But anyway, I think that'll be super fun today. And also, happy Friday. I know we don't normally run these on Friday, but it's been kind of fun to do recently. It's my favorite part of the week. I love talking with you guys and kind of just talking about whatever we're working on. So first off, I'd like to say happy Friday. Hope you guys are all doing well. I really appreciate you guys joining. I can jump into some of these little comments and questions as you guys post them in. Of course, I'd like to give everyone a couple minutes or a handful of minutes to join before I get really started. So I'll kind of wait for that. But yeah, I'm happy you guys are here. I'm happy to be with you guys today. I love working with you guys. You guys have taught me so much. So, I'm only trying to ever return the favor. I'm always trying to find the next best thing for us to do internally at Ezoic so we can, provide you guys a better platform to succeed. It's quite literally my job is just to make sure that you guys are successful. That's exactly my position. But I'm glad you guys can hear me okay. Hopefully the sound quality does sound better. I do have a real microphone that I've been kind of recording like how-to type videos for you guys on like how to set up automatic caching, how to connect your API key to the plugin, what a really good placeholder setup looks like, how to remove a placeholder setup. So I've just been basically trying to make really short, digestible videos for you guys all to learn how to use Ezoic, and maybe you'll learn features exist that you didn't even know existed. Maybe you learn how to correctly use them, whatever. But again, we'll be doing a fun project today. Whatever you guys want to do, we can kind of take a different direction with it. But let me jump into some of these questions. And I guess before I formally start, now that I am, 4 or 5 minutes in, my name is Charlie. If you guys can see down in the corner, hopefully I'm pointing to the right corner for you guys. I don't want it to be mirrored me pointing this way. My name is Charlie. I am part of the Ezoic Access Now team. So of course that deals with, publishers like you guys, just getting your business started or basically, getting it off the ground running. My technical or my actual job title is technical publisher advocate. So I basically just do exactly what I said before is I just try to put myself in the best position to teach you guys how to be as successful as possible using the platform, whether it's, letting you guys know about product releases, new ad formats, updates to our current platform, but also reaching out to basically say, hey, let's work together, let's stay motivated, and let's continue to build our business. But Wizard Gaming is in here. I don't know if we've met before, so nice to see you. Happy Friday. I'm curious where you guys are all checking in from. I ask that every week. I know we got some people coming in from the UK and Ireland normally. Sometimes we have people even here in California. So spoiler alert, I am in San Diego, California. I'm in our Carlsbad office here. We've had a terrible span of really, really cold weather, as I say. Well, really cold for San Diego. We even had pretty intense hail yesterday, but it's just been windy. It's been cold. It's been raining. It's been wet. It's been gross. So I'm just happy today. It's 60 degrees. It's sunny. It's Friday. I'm healthy. I really don't have a lot to complain about, even though I'm very good at it. All right, enough with the stalling. Happy Kid says, hey, Charlie. Hello, Happy Kid. I'm happy you're in here with me today. I love how you join week after week. I appreciate that. But that means you're probably finding some benefit from this, so hopefully I can continue on with that. Coding. Shikshaw, hopefully I said that correctly, says, Charlie, I noticed an increase in Ezoic normal and premium revenue due to Humix. Is it normal or is it done by Ezoic automatically? So you're saying I noticed an increase in Ezoic normal and premium revenue due to Humix. So it's not done by Ezoic automatically. What is being done is you're actually adding videos to your pages. And SEMrush, which is an SEO company, did a meta-analysis on this and basically found that 83% of, let me take that 83% back. Pages that use videos have 83% better engagement on average compared to pages that don't use videos. So it's not us just automatically, increasing revenue. It's you're increasing revenue by providing more content and more basically, digestible things to basically engage with on the page. Terrible word vomit there, but you get my point. So you adding videos to your pages creates more engagement, which will create a higher EPMV, which will create more revenue. Which is why we kind of wanted to introduce Humix in the first place, because we wanted to give you guys a platform where you could upload your videos. Other publishers can share your videos on their pages. You guys can split the revenue. But yeah, it's kind of, it's been an evolving kind of door in, I guess, the publishing world is video content. So we just wanted to create this tool for you guys to basically have all the access to what is the latest and greatest. Vacation Vibes, thanks for clarifying you can hear me. Hopefully the sound quality is okay. If it ever gets like fuzzy or if it breaks out or if it gets really quiet, please just let me know. I can switch the mic over to the one we normally use. Offering knowledge. Hey dude, how are you? Thanks for showing up. Of course, thank you for showing up as well. I'm actually doing great today. I think it was a pretty long week. I think it's been a pretty crazy time in the tech world. As you guys are all probably familiar with. So I'm happy to be sitting here with you today. It was a kind of a cold, long week, and I love to be active and I love to be outside. If you guys don't know that, I'm obsessed with sports. I'm obsessed with most sports with wheels. So when it's rainy and wet outside, it's pretty far from ideal to be outside and active, and I don't want to get sick. So I am doing a lot better today. And it's Friday, and I'm here with you guys, so this is pretty ideal for me, honestly. But I appreciate you asking, honestly. That was really nice of you. My blog, HassyWeb, keeps getting denied and domain status. Reason, Google serve ads on screens without publisher content. So I can actually take a quick look at this. I won't share my screen unless you give me consent to. But this is actually a really good question because these Google reviews are pretty specific and they actually look for random things. So when you see the reason Google served ads on screens without publisher content, you're being like, some of you guys might even say, I'm not even showing ads on my pages. So why would I be getting denied for ads showing on pages without content? That makes no sense. But what it really means is that there could be some links on your pages that are either broken. So if it says like, hey, check out this blog, but that blog hasn't been created yet and it leads to an error page or a page without content, that's what it could mean. Sometimes if you have articles with really, really short content, like only a sentence or two or three, that could be the reason for this denial. Yeah, and kind of along those lines, any broken links, any pages with minimal content, any pages with no content, that could kind of be the reason. I'll take a really quick look here. Oops. And just kind of give you a quick answer if I see something quick. But yeah, the Google reviews are pretty annoying, to be just completely honest. They're not very. So I see you have. So the first thing I normally do when I actually review your site, as if I was Google Ad Manager, which we don't, by the way, that is all done by Google. The Ad Manager review is 100% on Google. I'm gonna kind of actually adjust the mic. Sorry, it's a little more centered. Is that better? Okay. So yeah, they do look for kind of weird things, but when I actually try to look at your domain as if I was Google, the first thing I'll go through is your menu. And if you have, a ton of categories in your menu that don't lead to a lot of content, that could be the reason why. But I see you have online applications and then universities, prospectus. So what the reason probably here is that you have basically these internal links in your drop down menu where you have like 4 pages of a specific article, which can be rather confusing. It'll be better just to have the article there, click through it, and then be given all the content there. So the way you set up your job section of your menu is actually perfect. It leads to a bunch of articles. So you should set up the online application section of your menu just how you set up the job section. Hopefully I said that right. Do more content equals more traffic and more revenue from Ezoic? So 500 posts revenue will be lesser than 1,500 blog posts revenue. So I don't think there's an actual correlation between the total amount of blog posts. I think there is, something to talk about in terms of SEO here. My glasses are all crooked. They're super crooked. Anyway, I'll look like a bozo. That's fine with me. There is not a direct correlation between the amount of blog posts you have, but you should be considering, how some of your current articles are ranking in Google Search Console. So let's say you have 50 articles and 15 of them are on the first page of Google search results, compared to a website that has 1,500 and maybe only has 4 articles that are on the 3rd or 4th page of Google Search Console. The web page with only 50 articles that have 5 ranking on the first page is for sure going to be earning a lot more. So it's not a direct correlation with how many total blog posts, but more rather your SEO efforts and your actual rankings in Google Search Console. If Google Search Console, of course, is your primary avenue of traffic. For people that do like Facebook pages and are maybe like if they're doing tech updates, like following tech trends, sometimes there is more of a correlation with more content because it's super evolving, it's super current, it's day after day. You need to stay up, so you need to be writing content every single day. But yeah, then again, if you have an evergreen article that does really good traffic organically every single day, then you don't need a ton of articles. So it's a bit hard to answer that question directly as you asked. Hopefully there was a little bit of insight for you to take in there. Yeah, this video will be available on YouTube later. They all just go to Ezoic's YouTube page. So if you go to Ezoic's YouTube page right now, you can just click on the live section. There's like a tab at the top where it's like recent popular shorts live or something. They'll all be under the live section. We also have Heather, our PSM, post them there. We also have a handful of others. So there's also some in the past if you ever want to watch some of those. Feel free to show my blog for review. So let me just pull this up really quick then. But yeah, so basically what Google wants to ensure in terms of the menu is that it's very easy for your users to navigate and use. So what I was saying was you basically have 2 categories in your menu. If I go to the jobs one, this already is. You can see just article. This looks great. You have a second page here. That's fine. You don't want to have too many pages of articles. Let's say if you have, 10 pages of articles, you might want to create a subcategory here. So that way it's easier for your users to find the articles that they're looking for. But then when I go to online applications and universities prospectus, you can see that these articles have multiple pages here, which makes it a little bit confusing to navigate. So Google might be saying, we're going to this page here, and there's actually not a lot of content, and you could technically be showing an ad here. So that's probably why they're denying it. I would probably set up your university's prospectus the same way you have your jobs. Like when I go here, I should just be having a link to the article with a preview, and then when I click on it, I should be getting all of this here. But Google could be kind of considering this low value, sorry, not low value, but like kind of minimal content. So instead of having like multiple pages of really short, it just kind of stack it all in together, and then reapply, and you should be pretty solid from there. So if you upload videos in Humix, what would happen if you then moved in the future to a different provider, for example, Mediavine? So those videos, I believe, will still be on and like showing in Humix if you have that engage and grow turned on. But if you were to move to Mediavine, you wouldn't be able to be earning money off those videos that you are sharing on other publishers' pages. So, one of the main benefits of using Ezoic, if you ever wanted to test Mediavine, is you can run like 50% of your traffic through Ezoic, 50% through Mediavine, or 70% through Ezoic and Mediavine, or whatever you would like to do. That way you can still be earning money through Humix and everything there. Because we like to create that feature because it goes to show that our products will kind of take you to the next level. But custom kit gym equipment, if you are considering going to Mediavine, I'd like to say probably vacation vibes. Yeah, I will get to that. I can show you guys, of course, how to build a website from scratch, but I really wanted to show you how to build your actual site itself in terms of content. Let me just pause these notifications really quick. Sorry. Yeah, vacation vibes. If you want me to do that avenue from scratch, I will be more than happy to. I was going to actually do that part next week. But yeah, I said, how we can build your like current website. So I was going to show you basically my recent strategy of building and outlining content that's been pretty successful so far. So that's really exciting. But yeah, congrats on the success if you're were given the option to go to Mediavine, because I remember when you first joined Ezoic months ago, it was a super small site. So this could be meaning you're up to 50,000 page views in a month, which is super exciting. I just want to say congrats on that. At the moment, I only have Google Ads on Ezoic. How can I add ads from other networks via Ezoic? So this is a great question. What you're going to do is you're going to go into the Ezoic Ads tab section of the dashboard. You're going to go to I can show you your blog. Okay, cool. Let me just show you how to do this really quick. Let me pull up your dashboard and I'll show you how to do this. So if you have other networks that you're using and you want to basically have them compete against Ezoic for your inventory, which will basically ensure you're earning as much money as possible, we have a app built out for this. Let me show you really quick. Once it just loads through. All right, here we are. So when we're in the dashboard here, what we can do is we can go to the Ezoic Ads tab. From here, we're going to see AdSense and the mediation app. When we go to the mediation app here, we can actually go through and we can add more partners here. So if you have other networks, you can actually add them in here. So that way they can be basically added to the equation, to your header bidding equation, which will then, of course, ensure you're earning as much as possible. If you guys do add a network here, you just want to make sure that you go through to the Ad Transparency app. You go to the ads.text manager, and you actually want to make sure that you just add that new network so they are verified to actually bid on your inventory. But that's how you would add another network there. Really good question there. And nice to meet you. I don't think I've ever seen you in here before, so it's nice to meet you. Will you advise switching themes after Ezoic approval? By the way, I will do just what you advise for my blog. Perfect. Good job changing the menu. I do think that will help with the review a lot. But changing your themes is 100% up to you. Of course, you can if you would like after you get approval. There's no issue with that. But I would suggest moving to a simpler WordPress theme because they are just faster and they load a lot quicker. They load a lot less content. So they can get they can just be better for user engagement and revenue. Constantine says, "Hi Charlie." Hello Constantine. I hope you're doing well. I hope the same for you. I'm here looking for motivation. The web publishing journey is a tough start. So it's tough at start. No, I 100% agree with you, Constantine. And the exercise I'm about to do, what we're actually about to do is probably been the most beneficial thing for me because I think building up the ground base of your website is really difficult. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of vision, and it takes a lot of execution. So that's why I really was excited to share what I've been doing. Basically creating really good outlines that are kind of designed to be, ranking pretty well if you do your keyword search, research pretty well. Art McCarty says, do you have recommended guidelines for creating a site for Ezoic, sidebar items, main navigation, etc.? I think to start, simpler is better. So maybe you have a pretty basic theme through WordPress, which is what I did, like 2021. I have only a couple categories in my menu. For instance, I have something that says garage, so it talks about like all the dream cars I could have in my garage. Then I have another one that's basically about covering cars that have been coming out recently and kind of the new technology that's been coming out. And then I have another one that covers basically some of the basically my personal preference of certain things. So I kind of talk about, mostly my biases pretty much, which is pretty heavy, to be honest. So like, for instance, the one I wrote recently was like why I think cars from the 90s are so much better. Not quite literally better in terms of technology and performance and whatever, but basically what I think, why those cars are actually better. So simpler, something like that. Stick to like pretty specific low competition keywords in order to start writing, or for the topics that you're going to start writing about. I wouldn't go after really high competition, really difficult keywords to go after. Go after something really low difficulty and really low competitive, and kind of just work your way up from there. Try to find some longer keyword tails to kind of go after as well, get pretty specific, and then kind of build up from there. Thoughts on ChatGPT? Oh, my computer's bugging out. What is going on? There we go. Thoughts on ChatGPT? Will it kill SEO Google sites? I don't think it's going to kill Google sites. I don't think it's going to take, an impact on it. I think it will replace, many things that we don't automate currently. It's going to make our lives much, much easier. But I wouldn't consider ChatGPT a threat more than it is a tool. It's, it'll be easy to say, wow, it can do so much. It's going to do so much more than I ever could. But we're also in a position right now to learn how to use it, be really good at it, and be those people that are driving the force of AI. So that way you can make yourself really, a really key aspect in the market for whatever you're trying to do. So I wouldn't consider it a threat. I would consider it more of a tool, which is kind of something that I wanted to optimize here. I want to know how I can take this 4-month blog of mine from $50 to $1K a month ASAP. Not like I never did it for, but would love to learn new things. Okay, so I want to fly through these next couple questions, and then I really want to get into that little project that I wanted to do with you guys. So this is actually something I'll kind of talk about vacation vibes when we're actually doing this little thing in ChatGPT, because I think the best thing to do in order to take your site from $50 to $1K in a month is basically going to be kind of doing what we're doing, and I'll be talking about the different things to do as well. But very valid point. I think, this is something that I don't want just for you, but I want for every single person that comes through the Access Now program. So we can do that. Hi, my name is Solomon. Actually, I wanted to ask you, my website is taking more time to load after putting Ezoic Ads. PageSpeed Insights said JavaScript is increased. So what should I do? So adding more content or adding anything extra in terms of scripts to your site will take a hindrance on site speed. But the best thing to do is when you do come to Ezoic, and if you were to add, Ezoic Ads to the page, is take a granular look at your entire domain. Look at your server request time. Look at all of the different technologies you're using. Some of the plugins are performing significantly worse on a wide variety of other websites. So maybe it's good to find an alternative technology that's really fast and kind of go for it piece by piece there. Are you optimizing your images? Are you, serving them via JPEG, or are you doing it via, WebP format? Again, these are all things you can do through the Ezoic dashboard, do Leap, but take a step back, look at your entire website, look at all the different things you're loading on the screen, and then kind of go from there. Because we have tons of websites that are loading tons of ads that are performing really, really well. Thousands of them, quite literally. So it is very possible to do. I'll talk about this as well when we kind of do this little project in a second, but this is a really, really good question, and I'm definitely going to talk about this as well. Oh no, I'm not going to delete it. Don't worry, guys. I'm not going to delete this video, so you can definitely find it on YouTube later. Can we use ChatGPT's content on our website? Yes, you can. Google said that it's okay because Google basically came to the conclusion that if we have an author writing original content and we have AI writing content, if the question is what's 1 + 1, and the AI will say, well, 1 + 1 = 2 because that's a fact, and that's the answer to the question you're asking. The original authors say, well, there's a lot of different ways we can look at it. What if there's a negative value or an exponent of blah, 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 and we kind of go about that. But it never actually answers the question of what is 1 + 1. Then there's kind of a debate that the AI answer and content would actually be preferred there. While there's more originality and kind of more depth to the original author's answer, the AI kind of is answering the question. But that's not to say that AI content will always outtake the original content. What you guys should be doing is finding the perfect balance of answering the question that they're asking, and also offering your original insight to it, because that is something that ChatGPT will never be able to do. Okay, so there are a couple other questions here, but I'm gonna just sorry, I'm trying to. So yeah, this is definitely something that I wanted to talk about as well. But there's a lot of comments and questions flying in here, so I just want to make sure that I can kind of answer them as I do this little next project with you guys, because that's what I want to do. But then I'm definitely going to go through all these questions. I promise you guys will not skip out on any questions, because Mirza asked a really good question here. Happy Kid asked another really good question here. Yeah, no, vacation vibes, another really, really good question. But let me take a little pause on that, and let's go actually into ChatGPT. Just gonna pull this to the side. Sorry, because now I'm gonna share my screen. Okay, so here we are in the land of ChatGPT. As you guys can see, I kind of love using ChatGPT. I even have a lot more. I've been doing things about like, website tips, LinkedIn profile rewrite, basic meta-analysis like San Diego average salary, cost of living, 1994 Bronco reliability, what is it, S&P 500 index, explanation, adding column numbers to an Excel sheet, Google DNS record verification, clarification, job progress tracking, income project request, adding a Dropbox video to Adobe Premium, transfer hard coding website to WordPress. I mean, so many people talk about how we can get around the parameters and make ChatGPT say crazy things and do all these ridiculous things and say, I'm going to take over the world, which is sure funny and entertaining. And I think it's going to kind of create a general scare for people. But I just always want to be the person to advocate of like, this is such an incredibly valuable tool for so many different ways. I've created some of the more complex Google Excel equations that I've ever done, and I'm not an Google Excel or Google Sheet person, but I would honestly say now that I'm kind of good at it because it's basically done it for me. All I have to do is tell it exactly what I'm trying to do, give it the prompt of what I'm trying to do. Anyway, I'm going off a tangent, but I just want to say that this is a very, very good tool to use and to not be scared of. So this is the first thing I kind of always do when I'm kind of going in and I'm starting off brand new. I always like to say hi to it. Maybe that's because I'm weird and whatever, but I always will say like, hi bot. What's up? No, I'm not gonna say what's up. I'll say, hi bot. Today I am going to be creating some content for my website. Do you think you can help with? To say, good. So, I mean, it's not necessary to have a literal conversation with this thing, but it is a language model. And when I'm saying I'm going to be creating more content or be creating some content for my website, that is giving the basis of, ChatGPT now understands kind of the direction we're going to go, which will help with the accuracy of how this kind of goes. Whether that's something very simple, because I could say, hey, ChatGPT, write me an article on this. And then we'll kind of go, and then it'll kind of go from there. No, I'm not a ChatGPT whiz. I promise you I'm not. Yeah, and I do like to remind that it is a bot. I also like calling my friends bots. I like calling my coworkers bots. I like calling my boss a bot because I think it's just a funny way of making fun of someone. And of course, I don't mean it intentionally like that. It's just, I like calling people bots. Okay, so a lot of insanely good questions in here, but I don't want to get distracted. So now ChatGPT knows that I'm going to be trying to create some content. Let's give it some background. I'm actually going to ask you guys a question, and then I'm going to give some time for you guys to answer some input. What is the niche you guys kind of want to go after here? Last time when we were kind of creating code for a website, I asked what you guys wanted to write a website on, and an answer kind of came in like 10 minutes later. So I felt bad because I had already started with something else. So what niche do you guys want to go into? What do you want to write about? Throw in whatever kind of topic or idea you guys want to talk about, and we can kind of go from there. But I'm going to kind of ask it, maybe you can find some loan competition keywords. I haven't actually tried that yet, but let's go ahead and ask it. But I want you guys to, have fun with this as well. So whatever direction you guys want me to go with this, let me know. Just write a niche or a topic. Someone last time wrote, write something about tropical fish. We have parenting, we have travel as a recommendation, which are both really good topics to write about, by the way. They're both pretty high performing EPNBs, and they do really great earnings. So parenting or travel is a really good option. I'll give you guys like another 3 minutes to write some recommendations. And we can either go off after something really funny or go off something very basic like that. Bots don't worry about copyrights. That's true. You guys can also call me a bot. I truthfully don't mind. I think it's rather funny, honestly. You can call me Charlie Bot. Sometimes people say Charlie GPT. Raising cats, cat tricks, raising girls, college preparation. Really good ones right there as well. I think raising cats would be pretty fun to talk about right now. I am allergic to cats, but I'll still be happy to write about them. I still love animals. I love all animals. I love cats for sure. Okay, so we got our first duplicate of pets. Yes, you actually can use ChatGPT's content on your website. I would always make sure you reread what they're writing and verify what they're writing is real and accurate, because that is something that ChatGPT is not always going to be doing good of. It's not designed to say, hey, I actually don't know the answer to this. I can't give you an accurate answer. It's designed to always answer the question. And then when it does spit out some content, rewrite it in your own words, because your original tone or your original way of speaking is better than an AI can offer for sure. So edit, revise, write it in your own words, but it's a really good way to basically create some really good layout. Raising toy poodles. Okay, so offering knowledge really wants me to write something about drones. We can definitely do that, but I do. How about Calibot? Calibot's great. I love that comment. Excuse me. There's been 3 requests for pet food and pets. Sorry. So let's go with that direction, but I can definitely also write something about drones as well. Exercise goals is also a really good one as well. Okay, so my website talks about everything regarding pets. Pet foods, cat foods, raising cats, pet foods, cat foods, raising cats, raising, can't write, dogs, etc. So I didn't even give it a question there to basically write anything. But look, all I said was my website talks about everything regarding pets, pet foods, cat foods, raising cats, raising dogs, etc. And it goes, sounds like a good site. Here's a few content ideas. So I didn't even ask to, but look what it's spitting out. Best pet foods for cats and dogs. That's a little iffy, because I don't think we should be feeding cats and dogs the same thing. What niches have high EPMV? Great question. Gardening is one that will probably surprise you, that has a really high one. But family stuff, parenting stuff, pets, stuff like this as well, are all actually really high performing. New technology and kind of like, up and current tech niche is also a really good one. Finance content, those are all really good ones. But it says tips for raising a happy and healthy pet. That's a really great article, a little generic and probably pretty competitive, but common health problems for pets and how to prevent them. Great one. Pet friendly travel destinations. Great one. Travel destinations is another really good topic to write about. Choosing the right pet for your lifestyle. That's actually kind of awesome, and I never really thought of that as well. But let's do the pet food one. Let's see if it'll actually give us kind of a longer tail keyword to write about. Can you give us a longer long tail keyword with low competition to write about cat food? I've never tried this, so I'm a little curious of what it's actually going to spit out. I also wrote this as a pretty poor sentence, to be honest. But let's see what it spits out. Here's a long tail keyword with low competition that you consider for your cat food article. Grain-free wet cat food for senior cats with sensitive stomachs. That is really, you see what I'm saying? I didn't even use a tool for this. I kind of just, I'm just talking to this thing, and it is actually giving really good things. So I could literally just say, okay, That sounds great, right? I'm not gonna. This is actually where I think this is one of the recent things that I found that actually ended up working really, really well. So I want you guys just to focus on this part really quick, if you guys want. Write me an article on that longer keyword and answer these questions as you write, using them as main points. So I said, okay, that sounds great. Write me an article on that longer keyword and answer these questions as you write it, using them as main points. Wait, hold on. I'm actually going to stop sharing my screen really quick because I want to open up another screen and share that. So bear with me for 1 second. I'm going to pull it back up. My entire window. Share. Okay, cool. So now we're here. So let's just go ahead and like grab this. Grain-free wet cat food for senior cats with sensitive stomachs. I love it. There's no way that can be that competitive. I'm actually just going to post this into Google. And you guys can see some sponsored content, some Rover stuff, cat stuff. So obviously there is some competition for this, but this is what I like to do. And normally you get a little bit more comments, but I'm actually, watch this. I'm literally just going to grab these because look, it's saying people also ask, which just means this is really, really good stuff to kind of answer in our article. What is the best wet food for an older cat? What is the best wet cat food for a sensitive stomach? Is grain-free good for cats with sensitive stomachs? What can I feed my senior cat with a sensitive stomach? These are all really good things to have ChatGPT answer. So I'm literally just going to copy those into Google search and say, hey, write me an article on that, but also cover these things because that's going to help us with our SEO efforts. Enter. Again, oops. Sure, here's an article that answers these questions. You know, grain-free wet cat food for senior cats with sensitive stomachs. And now we're creating an article that is attacking this keyword, but also answering all the related questions. So this is going to help us perform really well in terms of SEO. And then, of course, what I want to actually go through is look at all of these things, especially when it's recommending, you know, Hill's Science Diet, adult sensitive stomach, and skin wet cat food. You know, Royal Canine Feline digestive sensitive thin slices with gravy wet cat food. I'm laughing because it's great. I mean, literally, like, I don't know anything about these products, and of course I would definitely want to read the reviews, and I definitely would want to read the ingredients and see if people are also having the same empirical experiences. But just purely based off the name of the cat food, or you know, what's another one? Blue Buffalo healthy aging chicken and brown rice recipe wet cat food. Like, these are all really great things. What's the best wet cat food for an older cat? When it comes for choosing the best wet food for an older cat, it's important to look at food that is specifically formulated to meet their unique nutrition needs. Senior cats may have different dietary requirements than younger cats and may benefit from food that is lower in calories and higher in certain nutrients, such as protein and antioxidants. So it is answering our question. Of course, we could definitely clarify a bit more on this, but as you guys can see, this is a pretty great article that we basically generated in a matter of seconds. So what I could then literally do is just copy this, probably put it into something like Google Docs, and I'd probably go off and write a bit more. And maybe I would say, let's try something for an example. Let's say, can you clarify more why older cats, sorry, cannot type. Why older cats might need more protein and in their diet? So I'm saying, can you clarify more why older cats might need more protein and antioxidants in their diet? And then, you know, because if I thought this was a really good, well-written article, other than maybe this one, I kind of want to clarify on it, I could literally just ask them to do that. As cats age, their nutrient needs change, and they may require more protein and antioxidants in their diet to supply their health and well-being. Here's a closer look at the nutrients and that are important for older cats. Protein, antioxidants, maintain muscle mass and prevent muscle loss. They become less efficient at processing proteins, so they might need more of it to meet their nutritional needs. Antioxidants help the body against oxidative damage and caused by free radicals, whatever that means. Their bodies may become less efficient at producing antioxidants, leaving them more vulnerable to stress and damage. So yeah, honestly, that wasn't incredibly better, but it was a lot better. In addition to protein and antioxidants, older cats may also benefit from a diet that is lower in calories and higher in certain nutrients, such as fiber, omega-3 fatty acids, and vitamins and minerals. So as you guys can see, like, it is pretty incredible for creating content. So I know a couple people were saying, Charlie, it's really hard to get to this point where you're kind of grown up, like built your website up to this massive, kind of dictionary or encyclopedia of information. But I wanted to show you that it's actually so much easier to do now than ever before. Of course, I haven't been ever before. I've only been in this industry for about 2 years now, but still, this is like I produce so much more content, faster than I've ever done before. But yeah, that's just, that was kind of a shorter example, and I would love to do another one. We can cover another topic. But let me see some of the questions that I missed before. And I'm happy to do another example of that. But I think all of you guys should go. If you haven't used ChatGPT at all, and you're just like, where do I even start? What do I even do? Try that. Say, hey, help me write some content about my website. My website's about travel. Mine's about personal finance, or mine's about vacation. Mine's about raising a kid. And then just give it a prompt, do a little bit of keyword research. Someone asked me earlier, what would I use for my keyword research? If you've been on Ezoic and you have a good bit of content on your site with like some decent traffic, Niche IQ will be a really good tool to use here, because that will actually show you some low competitive keywords to write about. Kind of use that and then kind of go from there. If you're not sure what to write about, you can even always just ask ChatGPT as well. But yeah, let me answer some of these questions before I go too deep. Oh wait, I gotta go up a little bit more. Is it advisable to set up a subdomain for an Ezoic approved website? That is 100% up to you. It's definitely not necessary and needed, but if you would like to, then absolutely you'd be more than happy to do so. What you'll actually just need to do to set up a subdomain is just add a CNAME record to your DNS records. By the way, when you guys do integrate with Ezoic via cloud or like via DNS, you still have full control over your DNS. You can delete, edit, add any records you would like. You can always remove integration. You're always under full control of your website in terms of ad showing, in terms of DNS, in terms of speed, in terms of everything. So just wanted to clarify that. So if you want to add a subdomain, add a CNAME record as it appears as your host for your subdomain, and then just add it into Ezoic in the settings tab. Boom, you're good. I'm using Ezoic for almost 6 months, and I'm not able to understand how Ezoic decides on EPMV. Like for 2 pages on the same position, but for one EPMV is 40 and the other is 10. So it could be the variances in how you wrote the content, the actual content itself. You might have, answered the question much better. Maybe you have a video playing on one. Maybe some of the placeholders aren't pulling through because you only added placeholders to the one page that's doing a $40 EPMV, and not all the elements are also showing on the $10 page or the page with the $10 EPMV. That was kind of a lot that I said there really quick. But if you want me to elaborate on that, let me know and I'll be more than happy to. I can also look into this live for you and kind of maybe try to dissect this. I have 5 to 6 categories on my site. As an author, I specialize on 2, and I publish content on rest categories. Google aren't like it. Google doesn't like it. Should I add more authors related to these categories now? So that's actually a good idea, and you could do that if you want. But again, that's something you could always try, test, and see how it goes. Compare data from that current date to previous, and then kind of go from there. Yes, the video will be available later. I'm focusing to switch a new site where I can more easily take original photos and content. Got to eat that E. Yeah, you're exactly right. You got to eat that E. That's a really good idea. Again, I think now is one of the best times to start a new website. The demand for Google is still massive and will be for years. So it's just like, why not work on new websites now? Why not create more stuff now while you can? Don't think about the negative repercussions of what ChatGPT would, but focus on the opportunities present and kind of go from there. By the way, that reminds me of asking a question about Ezoic Ads. So the set I have with the Ezoic plugin, auto placeholders, had a ton of ads being served from, so I had to limit to 15 ads per page. So limiting 15 ads per page it will hinder your revenue. That's just something you should be aware of, especially for longer articles. But adding more placeholders to your pages does not mean that more ads will show. It just means that our AI has more variations to test in terms of locations and size, and also, quantity of ads showing on the page. And when you add more placeholders to a page, and when the optimization is early on in living, it will test more locations early on than it will later down the road when it knows exactly when and where to show an ad. So when you do add a bunch of placeholders to a page, don't freak out. The AI is also kind of going to take that data and say, well, with your type of data going to your own site, like, you're more susceptible to seeing more ads. So that's also why you might see more ads. So it's actually good to maybe set this to 20 if you want to change this to 20 and just let it run for a little bit, or keep it at 15 and then change it to 20. You can compare data from before and after. When you add more placeholders to a page, sometimes more ads will show at the beginning, but then we'll kind of learn and adjust over time and only serve the ads and ad sizes and ad locations that are beneficial for EPMB and don't hurt user experience. That was a lot of words coming out of my mouth. Charlie GPT in full effect. But yeah, really good point right here. Please verify ChatGPT content before you publish it. It is the most confident but unreliable assistant. I'm not saying it's the most unreliable assistant. I wouldn't say that, but I would absolutely say go through, verify, check everything, read everything. What I like to do before I publish content, even if I personally write it, is I read it out loud. Like, I literally will sit there in my own room and read my article out loud, because if you hesitate, if you stutter, you're usually finding the places where things might not make sense, or you might read something out loud and be like, wow, I can't believe I wrote that. What was I even trying to get what was my point? Or that's not even truthful or accurate. I would like to ask, I have an Ezoic hosting even before Google approval, or I have to get approval before having this access. Spend months struggling with Google CMC. I actually don't 100% know this. I know you have to be approved for Ezoic monetization, and I know you have to be using some of the Ezoic's products like Leap or something else. So I think then you can use Ezoic's free WordPress hosting. So yeah, that's a really good little loophole. Do with that what you will. I'm here to have you guys succeed. I'm not here to cut you guys short, I promise. So you are a ChatGPT whiz. No, I'm definitely not a ChatGPT whiz, but I'm definitely curious. Like, I'm definitely trying new things. I'm definitely trying to, push myself and make projects that I wouldn't be normally able to create. Like, I would never be able to hard code a website before, and I've hard coded like 4 or 5 websites now, because it's fun and it's easy, and all I have to do is prompt it correctly, and then I have these beautiful websites being built for me in a matter of minutes. It's pretty incredible. Yeah, I'll always remind it's a bot. I do say that. I don't know. I don't think I'm actually trying to be derogatory towards the actual language model itself. I just like calling people bots. It's kind of a fun thing to do. I like messing with people. I'm not very serious. I'm not very formal. Doesn't mean I can't be professional, but I definitely like to be fun. So calling someone a bot is fun for me. Yeah, it helped me make a tool that helped my visitors with quickly finding details related to the product error code. So exactly, you can do stuff like that. And I mean, the tools you can create are incredible. I've created currency conversion, which is actually not that accurate because it can't take the most up-to-date version of what the actual values of the dollar or currency is, but you can still do things like that. You can do tax calculator tools. There's the amount of tools you can create without knowing how to code is beautiful. It's pretty insane, gotta be honest. Can you only set up new chat API in Google Sheets if you set up a Google Cloud account and link Python to Google Sheets, etc. So I was just reading, creating APIs is definitely above my pay grade, but I've been really trying to learn as much as I can about this. And I don't think I'll be able to find the actual article itself, but OpenAI wrote a bunch of articles and use cases where companies like Snapchat and all these things are using the API key. And I think there will be tools that people make that will make it easier for us to use the API key. That's kind of like a convenience service that someone would provide, right? That's something that we would pay for. Like someone who is really good at creating APIs can create like a universal API module that we can use per se. And that would be like a convenient service that they would offer, which is a really good idea if you guys are good at it, because I think that is something that is needed right now. Oh, sorry, that was this question. Hopefully I answered that correctly, but then again, I'm not an API wizard. I'm just, I'm just here to help you guys. I'm not an engineer. I wish I was so I could make them big bucks, but fortunately I'm not yet. Yeah. How about Calibot? This might be the comment of the day. I don't give a award for comment of the day, but if you guys want to think of a funnier way to make fun of me and call me a bot, I'll give you the award for the day. But so far, this is going to be the comment of the day, Calibot. That was a good one. I talked about this a little bit too. You can. Google actually said it's okay because I think the primary focus of what Google Search Console was actually built for was to answer questions you ask it. So if it's answering the question you ask it perfectly, then why not? Why not show it? Sorry, a little distracted there for a second. Raising toy poodles, I love that. Oh yeah, okay, and we are going to write something about drones. So offering knowledge. If you have something that, you want to actually talk about in terms of drones, let's see what we can find. I watched a movie recently. It was called Ambulance. It was kind of like an action-packed movie, which is honestly something I normally wouldn't watch. I like to watch horror movies. I like to watch comedies. I like to watch sports. I don't really watch action comedies, but the reason why I'm saying this is because there was a ton of scenes where they're filming in the LA River, they're filming all over LA, and they used drone shots constantly the entire movie, and they were absolutely incredible. Even in old sports action films, I don't know if, I love skateboarding, and there's old skateboarding and ski movies where they have an actual helicopter flying next to them as they go off a jump or some crazy thing, and there's a person hanging out the side with the camera. So you have jet fuel, you have a helicopter, you have a cameraman, you have a pilot, you have a camera you have to buy. The budget is massive for that, but now you have drones that are so incredibly high def and so incredibly, still and controllable, that the shots that they were creating in this movie, it's called Ambulance again, were incredible, like absolutely incredible, and you could save so much money using them. So I absolutely agree that drone technology is going to be, it already is a game changer for so many people in the film industry and many other things. Cat hate. I will not be writing about cat hate. I'm sorry. I love cats, even though they make me sneeze and get me kill my allergies. Someone was asking Charlie. This is probably going to block a lot of my face. Yep, there we go. Charlie, good to have you here today. May you kindly help with looking at my Ezoic dashboard? I've got some recommendations that are said to be in urgent need of attention, and they're hurting my earnings. I have highlighted them below. Box sizes and mobile banner sizes on all placeholders. You are losing revenue due to excluding high-performing placeholder sizes from all device types. Enable optimal sizing for all placeholders. Pages without revenue, urgent. You have traffic, blah, blah, blah. So basically, the last part, pages without revenue, urgent. That means you have pages that either don't have placeholders on them or there's objectionable content that is showing, which why ads won't show. The first point here means that you went through individual placeholders and actually removed some of the available sizes. So if you guys are on one of your pages and you actually enable the Chrome extension, you can press edit, and then on the second tab right below that, you can actually see all of the sizes that you are going to be able to test. Remember, when you add a placeholder, it's not one fixed size. There's a bunch of different sizes. So when you enable all, or not all, but if you enable most of the sizes that could fit in that area, you're basically setting yourself up for success. And when you remove some of those sizes to show, you're kind of, you are taking an impact on revenue, because, let's say you remove some of the bigger placeholder sizes or ad sizes, so it only displays some of the smaller ones. You're like, well, that does make a lot of sense when you do that, because in your head you're saying, well, it's going to hurt, user experience less, and it might earn me a little bit less, but at least I won't be hurting user experience. But the way our AI actually works is, if we find a user sensitive to those things, we're going to serve less ads, and we're going to serve smaller ads so it doesn't hurt user experience more. But if there's data to show that a user doesn't mind a bigger ad showing, it doesn't hurt user experience for them, then we can actually show those bigger ads, because the partner is going to pay more for that inventory. So you're earning more, but the user experience isn't going to be affected. That's kind of the underlying idea here for that first point in that comment there. I would pull up your website. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. If it was at the bottom of your comment, I can't see it there. So just write your domain name in the comment section, and I'll go from there. So we should have data for you. It depends how long you've been on the platform. If you've been on the platform for less than a month in total, maybe that could be the reason why. But if you've been on for multiple months, then we will. But yeah, if this is like your first or second month, that might be the reason why. If you have been on the platform for a couple of months, make sure you turn on topics, because when you turn on topics, then we can actually generate topics for you. And niche IQ is quite broad. So this is actually something that we've had this publisher, shout out Ken. Ken was joined Access Now before I was even working at Ezoic, which is just short of 2 years ago. So he's been on Ezoic for 2.5 years. This was actually something that he suggested. I was like, hey, if you were to use niche IQ more, like, what is something that we would have to improve? What is something that we would have to add in terms of value to the tool in order for you to use it? And his suggestion was, adding more long, more specific, more long tail keywords to actually write about. So this is some feedback that I really appreciate, actually, Vacation Vibes, and I recently brought it up to the team. But yeah, honestly, when you guys recommend these changes to products, it really, really helps, and it does go directly to the team. I do really care about what you guys want. All I want to do is for you guys to succeed, and if it's a new product, I'm going to advocate for that. If it's a different feature in the product, I'm going to advocate for that. Yeah, I'm going to do everything I can to help you guys out for sure. So if you have more recommendations, let them rip. Charlie Bot will take care of the rest. Can you sell affiliate products and use display ads on the same site at the same page? Same site, yes. Same page, yes. But I would not suggest it to the max extent. Like, I wouldn't have a page full of display ads and 15 affiliate links, because that's just going to be madness. It's going to be super diluted. Your CPM is going to be really low. So I would say, yeah, you could of course do that, but I would say, well, this goes back to basically the Google spam update they did to Google Search Console, I think like 6, 7, 8 months ago. I don't remember when it was, but it was basically negatively impacting pages that had 15 to 20 to 30 affiliate links that weren't all directly correlated with the content. So let's say, back to the example of my pet cat food, since I wrote an article on that, and maybe I only had 3 suggestions for those cat foods that were really good and I verified were actually good and healthy and safe, I could then maybe add like 3 affiliate links to those and kind of go from there. But I wouldn't add 15 to 30 pet dog food or random affiliate links all over the place, because that will take a negative impact on your page. I would probably suggest focusing on one or the other, affiliates or display. But then again, you can do both. Maybe you could do like top of the page, bottom of the page, sidebar floating, and some affiliate links in there as well. I wish I brought some water in here. I've been running my mouth. Oh, my computer's also about to die. Let me plug it in before I lose you guys. I have a charger in here somewhere. I know I do. So what the frick did I do with it? What did I do with the charger? Whatever. I'll have enough to get through to the end of what I wanted to do here. So we'll be good there. I've raised issues with my manager, and he has indicated that he will look into it, but the notification is still there. So I just thought maybe he didn't manage to look into the issue yet. So if you want me to take a look like it, if you want me to look into it, I'm going to drop my email down in the comment section. All of you guys are more than welcome to reach out for basic things. I can definitely offer help and insight to what you guys have. Oh, you're Interres. Oh, so okay, I know exactly who your manager is actually, and I will reach out to them and get this touched up on. I believe it's Paul, if I'm not mistaken. But I will actually write this down in my comment section. In my comment section. I'm gonna write this down in my notebook, not my comment section. And I'll take a look for that, and I'll email you right after. But I did drop my email down in the comment section, so you guys can all reach out to me. Or have a point of contact if you need something urgent. Okay. All right, I got that written down, so I will take care of that. Thanks for the award, of course. You have the award unless someone else takes it. Hi, Charlie. Please, may you look on your Facebook feed. I left a comment there a little while ago. Yes, absolutely. Is that a Facebook feed for this video? Is it a comment under the video, or is it somewhere else? Charlie PT also sounds like ChatGPT. No, I agree, and it's kind of funny. I wish I was as smart as ChatGPT, but I'm just Charlie GPT for now. Okay, yeah, so it sounds like you haven't been on for more than 30 days. Yeah, that's after the 30 days is when we'll kind of give you some more valuable insight and keywords to go for. Yeah, I think that's just part of the process for now. A flag in Niche IQ to say the term is a topic you are not interested in, so Niche IQ can learn from that would be cool. That is a really, really good idea, Michael. Niche IQ. So, Michael, that's a really great idea, and I'm actually going to go talk to Gerald right after this and suggest that. I'm also thinking a topic that you are not interested, but I'm also thinking we should probably create a flag for a keyword that you are interested in, so that way we can find more, but also find more keywords of what you want to write about and find less of the words that you don't want to write about. So again, suggestions like that are beautiful and great. I do want to show you guys just like maybe one other thing really quick. So we do have our community where we basically do offer all of the troubleshooting and help you guys would ever need. We also manage these channels all of the time. Not always on the weekend anymore, but throughout the day. Especially, we have our team in the UK working, we have our team here working. We also have some people over that cover later hours of the day. So whenever you guys need immediate help, this is going to be your first place to go. Sorry, my alarm was about to go off and I just wanted to turn it off. So when you guys actually do go to the community, I just wanted to show you that there are a handful of options to actually show. And when you guys create a new thread, it's important that you select the different options where your topic resides. So if it's an ad manager issue, that's going to be the Google MCM in terms of the Google review and stuff like that. But then again, if you want to choose like something that's ad related, that's actually not ad manager. It's actually Ezoic Ads. So you want to select ads if it's actually about advertisement showing. And then Google Ad Manager is going to be the actual Google review on your domain and account in order to show ads. So it's important you guys select the right option there. So if it's site speed related or leap related, you want to select that because it'll help us troubleshoot. It'll be less, back and forth. And basically, we just want to be put in the best position to offer you guys helpful insight right off the bat because we just want to be as helpful as possible. But that's basically going to wrap it up for me today, guys. Again, if you need anything, please just, reach out to me here. cstever@ezoic.com. I wish I had charliebot@ezoic.com too, but I don't yet. I guess reward of the day is going to go to Calibot. Or comment of the day that's going to be the award. That's the winner for the day. But again, I do really, really appreciate you guys joining in and spending some time with me this Friday. I hope you guys all have a healthy and happy weekend. Try what I just did with ChatGPT. If you guys are unfamiliar or familiar with it, use it as an outline. Kind of use that little thing that I did there. You write it into Google, find what users are also looking for. Use those as topics that ChatGPT can write about. Then you have a really well-established article that kind of answers a handful of similar questions. That way you can kind of broaden your audience of what you're writing for. That's going to be one of the best ways to go from earning $50 a month to $1,000 and beyond. But again, I still want to say thank you guys so much for joining. These are always my favorite time of the week. I love being here with you guys. I'll always do anything I can to help you guys succeed. I'll always, advocate for you guys internally at Ezoic, and I'll always be doing my best to, reach out if I ever see an opportunity for you guys to improve. So if you ever see an email or a notification from me, know that it's coming with a good intention, that all I do is want you guys to succeed. What is the best article word length? I would say anywhere from like 800 to 1,500 words. I think the data points to around 800 to 1,200 and then also around the 1,500. So I'll just say maybe anywhere from 800, 1,000 to 1,500 words is usually the best length. Thank you, Mr. Chatbot. Exactly. Thank you guys so much for joining. Honestly, I really just, I like to show up here because, sometimes I feel like I don't get to create that personal connection with you guys because, we're kind of behind screens all day. But, so sometimes I feel like a little deprived of that, which is why I like to come into the office and talk to my coworkers, because I am definitely someone that is empathetic and needs to work with people and be with people because, it's what I care about. So I really like, spending this time with you guys where I can, even though we're not talking back and forth quite literally, it's still, it shows I'm a real person. I do really care about your guys' success and your guys' business. So I appreciate you guys kind of joining me and listening in today. But then again, thank you guys for the millionth time. Please have a great weekend. If you can get outside and exercise your brain in other ways, or just take some time away from writing content as well. Give yourselves a break. Mental health is for sure a main priority we should all be focusing on. But for the 2 million, via connected with you with virtual heart. No, exactly. But again, thank you for the 14th millionth time. I really appreciate you guys. Enjoy the rest of your weekend and have a great one. Cheers.